I am Bryan Camacho. I document the process of becoming the strongest version of myself. Not because I have everything figured out, but because I refuse to quit. My mission is to turn confusion into clarity, excuses into action, and potential into results. I talk about discipline, responsibility, self-improvement, family, business, purpose, and the daily choices that shape our future. I don't teach from perfection, I teach from experience. Every day is another step forward. Every setback is a lesson. Every lesson is meant to be shared. My goal is simple. Become the man I was created to be and help others do the same. This is not motivation. This is transformation. From lost to purpose, my journey through pain and healing. Good morning, everyone. I want to begin by asking you a simple question. Most people say they want a better life, more money, a better body, a better future. But how many of us stop and ask, what is it costing me to stay exactly where I am? See, I know that question hits hard and it hits home because it's important. What is it costing me to stay exactly where I am? I'm going to tell you exactly what is costing me to stay exactly where I am. That's exactly what I'm about to do right now. It's costing me everything. My life, my time, my energy. So comfort doesn't exist in my mind. Not because I am the toughest, not because I am the storm, but because I am what survived it. So I refuse to stay stuck, to be comfortable, and remain the same. I'd like to take you through my personal journey. One that took me from the Dominican Republic, raised by my grandmother, to New York, to the Army, and eventually through the darkest chapters of my life, into healing. When I was 11, I left the Dominican Republic and I moved to New York. My father was incarcerated at that time. My mother worked hard to build a better life for us. After high school, I joined the Army in 2014. But when I returned, I was broken. A painful breakup sent me spiraling into addiction. For a year, I lost myself in alcohol, drugs, and self-sabotage. But in that darkness, I made a choice. After being impatient in New York City, I turned to my faith. Every day I read Proverbs, and slowly I rebuilt. I earned my personal training and yoga certifications, worked at a gym, built a client base. And today, I stand here not as a man who is perfect, but as a man who chose to heal. And I share this with you because it's not just about me. It's about every small decision you make. Every day you choose comfort, you pay a price. But every day you choose responsibility, consistency, and faith, you cast a vote for the person you're becoming. So, before you leave today, I want you to ask yourself, if I keep doing exactly what I'm doing right now for the next 5 years, where will I end up? And if that answer makes you uncomfortable, that's good. That means you know what needs to change. Take one step today, not 10, not 100. Just one. Your future is built on one decision at a time. Alright, so today's topic is money and control. I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it. This is it. Money and control. First of all, I want to say that money equals options, control, and freedom. Those three things. That's what money equals. Money equals options, control, and freedom. Let me start with the first one. Money equals options. Right? The ability to choose. I haven't had always the most money, so I had to go and get it. And I've always approached life with the mentality of, if I don't have it, I'll go get it and make it a pair. Because that's what hustling is about. And I'm not selling you anything here. I'm not hustling you, anybody watching this video. I'm not selling you anything. As a matter of fact, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply saying how I do it. And this is how I do it. The deep understanding I have with money equals options. Yes. Without it, I lacked options. Without it, I couldn't stay at a hotel or an Airbnb or afford a home, a mortgage, pay a rent. Without the money, I lacked flexibility to go out and travel the world. Needless to say, I've been all over the world. You name it. If it's the desert, I've been there. If it's the mountains with the snow, I've been there. If it's over in Europe, I've been there. And some of it was due to my occupation. Yes, so I travel a lot for work. Yes, but even today, I'm able to bounce around. Last year, I was in New York. The year before that, I was living in PA. And this year, I'm over here in CA. So I've have had the privilege, due to the knowledge of how I move with strategy, to be able to bounce around from place to place. And the come up is only gonna turn up that thing, which is options. That's what I'm saying. And some of those options is travel options, i.e. vacations, hotels, not for myself, yes, but my wife, my kids, my family, my friends, and any colleague or any business meeting I want to have out there. Money will give me the option to do that right there. That's what I'm saying. So remember this: money equals options. And I want to have more options than not. I want to be able to decide. I want to pick and choose what to do, when to do it, with whom I want to do it, whatever I want to do. Wearing whatever designer clothes or suit I want to be wearing for that particular day. So options, money equals options. That's first. Second thing, control. Money gives me control over my life, over the places I stay, the food that I'm eating, the clothes that I wear, the people that I decide to associate with. And I'm in charge of all of it because I have control over my money. And needless to say, that's having emotional control over my spending habits with my money. So see, I have to have the inner control before I can have the outer control, power. And that's that invisible inner work that most people don't see. I'm here as a light. I'm showing the blind. And I'm not saying you watching this is blind or naive, but there is a lot of information out there. So if I can share this testimonial, whether it's a speech, a testimony, a podcast, me telling this story, if you can listen and you can hear this and you can receive the message and let it resonate with you, I pray that and I know that it will serve your life great purpose. And if you're also liking this, I know you're liking this message, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to let me know that you're liking the message, you're liking the content. Leave a comment on the bottom of what you think I said thus far. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get back into the message. Control was the second thing. Now, money equals freedom. Freedom is, I believe, what we're all searching for at the end of the day. When I sit here and I think about tactically acquiring all these material things, the material things will give me a sense of freedom, in a sense. Of course. So those are the three things that money really represents. That's what money represents. Money equals options, control, and freedom. And at the end of the day, I believe that with the money is we're searching for, this is what we're searching for, what I'm searching for when I search for the money. But it's so funny how the less I make an effort to go after it like that, from a selfish greed frame, the less money wants to attract to me. So the mentality, the mindset, I would say is the number one thing, is the key element to have that alignment. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by alignment? I mean head, heart, hand. First came the thought, then came the feeling, then came the action. Now that action made an experience, and that experience provided a result, and the result is what's visible in today's world, in my hand. That's the only thing we can see is results. The only thing that's respected, validated. Now, if the only thing that matters is results, and I can control my thinking, change my stinking thinking about money, the relationship that I have with it. Because ultimately, it's a relationship, and how tightly I squeeze it, I need it, I'm greedy, she's gonna run away. I like to say that money is a her, it's a she, at least to me. I buy a yacht, that's my lady. So money is a girl, it's a woman. It's a beautiful, seductive lady, and she loves to be attracted to attractive men, attractive women with attractive qualities, such as confidence, communication. I mean, things as simple as a handshake done properly, money would see it, smell it, and be attracted to that energy right away. Yes, follow me here. Now, I know it sounds a bit abstract, but the relationship and the identity behind the spending, earning, saving, and investing, of course, is all that matters. How do I feel when I do those four pillars? At the time of earning it, spending it, saving it, and investing it, my emotional vibration have to be in tune. In other words, aligned with what my mental is thinking. What am I trying to say here? In other words, I might want $1 million in my head, but if every time I spend money, emotionally, I feel like I don't have enough, then there is a disconnect between the worlds of my mind and my heart. How I think and how I feel are at war. So when I act, I don't know how to act. I don't make the right financial decisions because mainly I'm emotionally deciding, and mostly that decision is wrong. We have to separate our feelings from spending first. Be able to pause and think about it from a logical mental space. Analyze all the puzzle pieces. Look at the chessboard and see the entire playing field in order to be able to evaluate and make that attack. That's right. The best counterattack is not defense, is we have to attack. And what am I mean by attack? Attacking life. If this was a fight, which I treat life as war, I will have to attack and attack and attack, because if the enemy sees that I'm getting tired, that I'm getting comfortable, he's gonna see it in my eyes, and he's gonna pike up and he's gonna attack. And there's no way that I'm gonna counterattack all that animosity, all that motivation I provoked. Therefore, I understand life is a fight, it's an uphill battle, it's a war, spiritual warfare, if you will. Money is one of those battles. Women is one of those battles. Men is one of those battles. Being a parent is one of those battles. Being an entrepreneur, starting a business, running it, is an uphill battle. And more than that, it's a dog fight. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen dogs fighting before? I don't condone this type of behavior, of course, but this is the level of graphic I want to imprint in your mind. This is what life is, so we must attack with extreme precision and intention. Great intentionality. Man's greatest failure is broken focus. Why? Because of distractions. Because we allowed them. Because laziness has taken over. Comfortability has made a construction site within our soul. And we label it as fine, as life. But you know what I call it? I call it settling. And that's not something that I'm willing to die for. So I'm standing up, I'm spreading this message, and I hope it reach millions of people out there, and all of y'all can be inspired, be the light that you want to see in the world. Become that positive change. And if you have learned something throughout your journey, don't be afraid to share your story. Go out there and share your story for the experience, because you're alive and you have lived and you have failed and you have picked up the pieces and learned. And now it's about earning it. The first portion of our life in our 20s was about learning. Now the 30s, I'm about to be 30, it's about earning. But I'm earning because later on in the years, I want to return. What am I trying to say here? I want to give back to the world, give back to my community, give back to my block, my hood, where I'm from. That's Dominican Republic. Then I grew up in New York when I was 11, as you guys already know. I share all these things on a previous video. But keep going. I'm not here for motivation. I'm here to show you guys what transformation actually looks like. And that's me. I was at the lowest of the low. I mean, if you think about it, I come from a third world country, Dominican Republic, right next to Haiti, which is the same thing. We're family. All of us, we're in this beautiful, gorgeous island with this beautiful, gorgeous people surrounded by water. And now we have traveled across the waters, and we are now in the California. And you know what? We don't join the army, went out to war, experienced different countries, met thousands of people from all over the world with different personalities, different backgrounds, and different money statistics, where some of them joined for patriotism because they were patriotic like that. I had my one boy. He's from Kansas. He joined the army and got stationed in Kansas. And he was right there with me. I was right there with him. And you know, we went out there in the desert. I ain't going to mention where exactly, but we watch each other's backs. Because although he's white and I'm brown or black, or he's Asian, Spanish, that what have you, we all wore the same uniform. So we were all green. And that brotherhood is something that I still keep. And that teamwork, that love and loyalty is something that the world, civilian sector, doesn't teach. But that's why I'm grateful to have the experiences in my life, such as joining the army, the military at a young age, graduating high school when I'm not from this country, yet I joined the military and fought in wars, fought for this country's peace, became a veteran, got out with an honorable discharge, completed my service, and it's something that I'm proud of because I'm from Dominican Republic, which is a third world country. And I came as an immigrant to this beautiful country, United States of America, and I joined his military. And yeah, I went and fought, and it was dark times, but yeah, I'm proud of it because I served, I helped, I contribute, and I left with my head held high, proud. And that's what the military is about, the brotherhood, the community, what we can do for this earth against terrorism and all of that. And you see, I have that, by the way, New York City in the background. So yes, with that, we're moving on. I'm moving on to the second thing, which is most people don't lack money. They lack skill plus structure. I'll say that again. Most people don't lack money. They lack skill plus structure. All right, so skill. What is skill? Skill to me is something that I can cultivate, right? Because I have a brain, and the same way I adopted to the United States when I was 11 years old back in December of 2007, and my grandma didn't come to the next year later, 2008. So I was being homesick. I'm in a new country, getting culturally shocked. And at the time, I only spoke Spanish. I'm having to take ESL classes. Well, shout out my teacher, Miss Enriquez. You know, I still remember her to today. And she always showed mad love, support. She had me in her teaching classes for 6 years. So I joined middle school in 6th grade. I came to the U.S. on a Sunday. Monday morning, 6 a.m., I am on a school bus. I've never experienced a school bus before. I'm used to walking to my school miles away with no shoes on. And you know, you pass kids along the way, and you know, after a few miles, there's a gang of us. So we're all walking to school together, and we all arrive at the same time. And on the way back, when we get released, is the same thing, but reverse, of course. And I arrived, but that's what I'm used to, walking in the hot sun with no shoes, walking with my books in my hand for miles on some school destination by myself as a little kid. And that's all right. That's all right. Because I was still wearing uniform. My hair was done dead. My grandma made sure of it. She put a little perfume cologne on me. And, you know, my shoes was always tight, shine. And that was a discipline as an early age that it was already installed in my mind. Plus, my grandma is very religious. We come from a background of Jehovah's Witnesses. So her unconditional love is what I have in my mind, in my heart. You know, she saw me as a little kid sitting on the kitchen floor with not a pamper on, and she fell in love with me right away. So what I'm trying to say is that Shout out to Miss Enriquez for sticking with me for 6 years. I'm talking about 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9, 10, 11, 12th grade. And every year I'd had her in I was in her class. She would come to my classes. We have study hall together. So I saw her every day, multiple times a day for 6 years. And this is the type of I almost felt like she was sort of like an aunt, mother, like protective guardian angel, because God would do that. God will have, raised me in such a way with my grandma and then with Miss Enriquez. And it's just been a wonderful journey thus far. Going to the message, most people don't lack money, right? They lack skill plus structure. These are two things that I got at a very young age. I had to learn English. That's a skill. That's a communication language skill. Structure, I got that from the military. That's that discipline, consistency, right? And that's what it is.